Okay, we still have some folks moving over from Teams, but we can go ahead and get started since it's a little after 6. Hello, my name is Jennifer Cranford. I know you can't see me. My camera has decided to boycott virtual meetings today, so we're just working out why she's acting that way, but we'll figure that out later. My name is Jennifer. I am the Director of Learner Success and Support in the College of Health and Human Performance. So basically do the scholarship program, some recruitment, help with affiliation agreements, internships, experiential learning, all that good stuff wrapped up into one is what I do. So I will turn it over to our wonderful folks in RCSC to introduce themselves and then talk about the program. We've got Kelsey up here for advising standpoint, some other folks that I'm scrolling through. So I will just turn it over and let the experts do their thing. Kelsey, did you want to start? You're muted. It's okay.
Sorry, goodness gracious. One day I'll learn. Yes. Hi, I'm Kelsey Webster. I am the academic advisor for the rec therapy major. And we have Dr. Carrie Autry here, who is the program coordinator for the rec therapy major as well. Now I see that we have Vanessa with us.
Hi, everyone. I'm Vanessa Bright. I'm the advisor for Recreation Park and Sport Management majors in either concentration.
Carrie, did you want to introduce yourself?
Carrie Autry. I am the director for the recreational therapy program here, and we are excited about talking with you today.
And then Carrie, did you have slides to share? Yep, okay. So I guess we'll just talk a little bit about different program highlights in RCSC, kind of what these students should look for admissions and kind of what that process looks like from application to ECU through program selection. If any of y'all have any thoughts or opinions on that, love to hear it.
So I apologize for not having a visual for you all. So in the recreational therapy program, we do have a application process. So there are some courses that you would need to take before you can apply to the program. And Kelsey can talk about that as well. But overall, if you are not aware about what recreation therapists do, is that something that we want to talk about here as well? Is that correct?
Yeah, I think a little bit about like what they do, what kind of different career options there might be, things like that would be awesome.
So our students are able to work in a variety of settings with a variety of populations for disabilities. So we can work with children to adults to older adults, and essentially we are providing recreation as a therapy. So we use recreation as a tool, a therapeutic tool, to enhance quality of life. So we can work with people with physical disabilities, intellectual and developmental disabilities. We work with veterans, we work with older adults. And some of the settings that we work in are definitely in hospitals and physical rehab and behavioral health. But we can work at pediatrics. We can work in community settings. So we have therapists that work in parks and recreation, Easter seals, nonprofits. We have therapists that work in the VA hospital. So as you can tell, it's a very broad field because we do um, focus on that part of people's lives. That's recreation and leisure and play. And we also can do adapted sports. So one of my areas is sailing. So I teach about therapeutic sailing, and we have other colleagues that do adapted sport. We have faculty that are trained in mental health and recreational therapy. So, and biofeedback, and we do virtual reality interventions and all kinds of stuff in our program. So, um, those are some of the like general backgrounds of what we do in recreational therapy.
And I can speak to the application requirements for the rec therapy major. So our students do have to have their English 1 and English 2, which at ECU is English 1100 and English 2201, as well as their foundational rec therapy classes. One is RCTX 2230, the other is Rec Sciences the number is escaping me, 2601. Along with the math, and then either the survey of anatomy or the first anatomy if students are choosing to do anatomy 1 and 2 versus the survey of anatomy, and which anatomy option students choose. That's something that we can talk about on an individual basis. But once they have completed those requirements, or at least are in the process of completing all of those, and they have a 2.5 cumulative ECU GPA or higher, then they are eligible to apply to the rec therapy program. That is a 2-step process. Students will submit, some documents via a online application, and they will also do an interview. And if accepted, wonderful. Then they have a very, prescribed class sequence after that. There is an internship that is required along with volunteer hours and things like that. But yeah, and they'll have to take a test once upon graduation to become licensed. Our students have a very high pass rate of that test. But yes, and that's something that, I work with students on, just to making sure that they have all of those required classes to make sure that they, can apply to the program in a timely manner.
Vanessa, any other like specific requirements folks should be paying attention to now, or Kelsey too, um, as they kind of make their way through their curriculum and what they're looking at in the future?
Yeah, so just for rec therapy in general, the 2 Englishes, the anatomy, and the math requirements do have like community college equivalents, but the foundational rec therapy and rec sciences classes that they have to have do not. So those do have to be taken, here at ECU. And again, they'll also have to have an ECU GPA established. If students are going to a North Carolina community college, they can take English 111, 112. The math, they have an option between college algebra, statistics. So, and that also depends on their future career goals as to which math is right for them. So that is, a conversation that they want to have with an academic advisor. And the anatomy, there are community college equivalents to that. But as far as just in high school, no, not really, unless they're taking, like dual enrollment classes. But there are those 2 foundational, well, one rec therapy and one rec sciences classes they would have to take here at ECU.
Awesome. So we talked a little bit about internships, curriculum. I know there's a big research component to a lot of the things our current students are doing. Can any of the students on the call talk about any of your internships or any research that you're doing in the labs, or anything experiential that you want to share? So for those that don't know, the College of Health and Human Performance is really big on experiential hands-on learning. And so we really encourage those internships, research, anything that can get you engrossed in the field. So if anyone wants to chime in on that research or experiential learning, I'd love to hear it.
How you guys doing? My name is Joshua Harrelson. I'm a senior here at ECU, majoring in sports studies. Some of the great things that I've been able to do at ECU through experiential learning is actually attend the Super Bowl. So last Super Bowl, not this current one, the one that just passed, but last Super Bowl, I was able to attend where it was a semester-long class where I learned the fundamentals of sports management. I learned what it took to run a large sporting event at that scale, and then get to put some of that actual learning into play at the Super Bowl. Um, what we actually got to do hands-on there, we were in Las Vegas for a week prior to the Super Bowl where we attended conferences, we attended meetings, and then come game day, we were actually placed inside the stadium where we helped fans with fan engagement, helping them find the nearest bathrooms, finding places where they could buy merchandise, answering any questions about the stadium that they may have or about the game in general. Along with that, we got to meet and connect with a lot of ECU alumni that are actually out in Vegas, whether that be Parks and Rec management or sports agents for some of the actual players that were playing in the Super Bowl. Currently, outside of experiential learning, I'm in my internship for my senior year at Winterville Parks and Recreation, which is about 20 minutes away from actual campus. And what I get to do there is help with all youth sports activities, as well as help program events for senior citizens within the community, as well as as well as regular members within the community, anywhere from sports all the way to daddy-daughter dances, movie nights, and things along that nature.
Thanks, Josh. That's awesome. I'm jealous you got to go to the Super Bowl last year. I don't think you missed much this year. Game wasn't that great. So, but yeah,
Hey, Jennifer, did you see Josh's chat message about letting in the Jordan?
I
don't
did. I
have.
sent her a
Oh,
message
okay.
on Teams
Right,
and I sent the meeting ID and I think you need a password to get in this one too. So I
sorry.
sent
Okay,
that over.
gotcha. Sorry,
Yeah.
just making sure.
I did see it. Yeah, Josh, if you want to tell her that she can come over to Zoom.
Okay,
I
yes, ma'am.
do not see the Zoom link. Let me try that. Technology. It's our best friend.
Okay, I did just send the.
Jordan's a good one to talk to too, so I want to make sure we get her. Anybody have any questions while we wait for Jordan to join us about the program, internships, community opportunities?
Students interested in recreation parks or sport management or recreational therapy. Is that something that they can talk about in the chat? For the people that are interested.
We got 2 interest in rec therapy, 1 rec parks and sports management. Looks like majority's going for rec therapy.
As far as like our internship sites, we have a list of about 300 sites that our internship coordinator has kept updated as much as possible when people go out, and that's definitely updated. But that means we've had over 300 sites over the years that our students have gone to, and that can be national. We have had students go to California. We have some really cool sites in Colorado, but we definitely have sites around here in North Carolina that do prepare you to become a recreational therapist, and the internship is really important for that culminating experience and to be able to sit for the certification exam and also to become licensed in the state of Florida. So all those sites that I talked about earlier, that's where our internship sites will be located as well. I know we have students that work with, I know one student is wanting to go work in animal assisted therapy under a recreational therapist. So some like therapeutic horseback riding. We have a recreational therapist that's in Colorado, where they work with farm animals. It's farm assisted therapy. So that's a little different. But some of the big areas that we're doing research in our program now are related to virtual reality. We have Dr. Kim who does research and works with students in virtual reality and older adults and works on balance and quality of life and fall prevention and areas like that. So, and then I have a sailing simulator, which is actually a real boat, and we do research with people with physical disabilities. We teach them to sail, but also look at quality of life and balance and strength and self-determination. So we're looking at how that might increase confidence to be able to do other things in their lives. And we're branching out to want to work with veterans and youth. So, and we also have, is Jordan in here?
I think
Is
I
she-
saw her pop in.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, I don't know why my camera's not working.
Mine isn't working either. It's boycotting technology today.
Yeah, I don't know. It's working for Teams, but
So Jordan, yeah, please.
yes. So my name is Jordan. I'm a senior in the rec therapy program. I'm currently doing my internship at Caswell Developmental Center, working with individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. I absolutely love it. I genuinely do. I love all the residents and love everybody that I'm working with. And today, actually, I led my first program, which was fun. I came to ECU and found recreational therapy because ECU had built an adaptive device to provide the experience of adaptive water skiing for individuals with tetraplegia. I really enjoy aquatics, and I love that recreational therapy is an opportunity to combine things that you're passionate about and things that you really love to do with a therapeutic benefit. So with that being said, my dream in rec therapy is to do aquatics, adaptive scuba diving, surfing, paddleboarding, and that's a lot of fun. The classes at ECU genuinely prepare you for any type of population that you would like to work with. And they give you the tools and the skills to be a great rec therapist, as well as a lot of professional opportunities to become successful once you've graduated. There's a lot of conference opportunities, a lot of professional development, volunteer hours, and it's really a great experience to be able to branch out and to kind of see what your niche really is. And that's exciting. Another thing that I love about the rec therapy department is that all of the professors genuinely care, and it's small, but it's big enough, small enough to really form that connection and get the information and form that relationship with your professors so that they really do set you up for success and you're able to ask as many questions as possible and really use them as a tool, for your success. This weekend, I am going to Camp Twin Lakes in Georgia, and that is an adaptive outdoor recreation camp for veterans and their families with disabilities. and that's really exciting. There's adaptive rock climbing, adaptive zip lining, horseback riding, paddleboarding, fishing, candle making, wood burning, I mean, you name it. And it's truly inspiring watching these families come and transform in a matter of 3 days and get to experience the therapeutic benefits, but also having the time of their lives. So the passion behind rec therapy is really inspiring, and I don't think I would have ever chosen anything different. I'm very excited and grateful that I've had this opportunity at ECU.
Thank you, Jordan. Does anybody have any questions for student ambassadors, program advising, anything?
Even if you may not have questions specifically about a program, if you're still unsure, if you're wondering kind of the climate of ECU or kind of the responsibilities of a student, really just anything, we're here to help as much as possible.
I'm also going to put my email in the chat. So if we get off the call and later you think of something and you want to reach out and get connected with anybody from up here, I can definitely provide that information. So that's me. I'm Jennifer Cranford. And so I will just plug real quick while I have everybody up here that we have HHP Admitted Student Friday coming up next Friday, February 21st. And then Pirates Aboard is the big ECU Admit Day on Saturday, March 29th. So mark your calendars for those. We'll be sending out communication on that, but those are really good times to kind of meet in person, especially the HHP Admitted Students Day for the one-on-one small group conversations of just if you had different questions about the program or admittance into ECU in general, or, you know, what's a day in the life of a rec therapy student look like. Those are really great times to kind of come onto campus, see the spaces, get involved, talk to current students, alumni, professors, anything of the sort. And if you have questions about that, feel free to email any of us as well. I'm happy to direct you on that and get you to campus on those days. So any other questions for the group? How do you guys assist getting internship in sports management? Anybody want to talk about that one?
I don't know if I missed it. Did we talk about the recreation park and sport management degree yet? Because I can
I
just
don't
go
think
into
very much, no. So if you want to, the floor is yours to.
Okay. So recreational therapy is one of two majors that we offer in this department. The other is recreation park and sport management. We used to have sport studies, which Josh is about to graduate out of, but that was recently changed to recreation park and sport management, which covers pretty much what it sounds like, recreation and parks, but also sports management. And that major has two concentrations: recreation and park management and sport management. Whichever field you're more interested in is the concentration you would choose. The recreation and park management concentration, you take more classes about recreation and parks. The sport management concentration, you take more classes that have to do with sports. Both concentrations take the same core classes, like leisure and society or recreation and sport event programming. But then once you get into the concentration, that's when you split up the different kinds of classes. Like the rec and park concentration will take recreation for diverse populations, or tourism and entrepreneurship planning. Whereas the sport management concentration will take legal aspects of sport, or sport psychology, sport analytics, much more sport focused. And both concentrations require an internship, just like recreational therapy. That is a full semester endeavor where you go somewhere and intern. Some students will intern through ECU, but you don't have to. Students can intern through Charlotte or Raleigh or even out of state. We had someone go to Colorado this past spring. The whole internship process is, your internship is in your very last semester. So say spring 2030, is that where we would be? Or maybe 2029, one of them. But spring 2029, that's when you would intern. Fall 28 is when you would take what's called a pre-internship class. There's one for both concentrations. It's what it sounds like, everything you need to do before you embark on your internship. That includes looking at what's possible, like what are the requirements for your internship, where previous students have gone to give you some ideas. And while we have that list, you don't have to stick to it. If you find something else that fits the requirements and it's approved by the internship coordinator, we're down. And then we just make sure that it's a real internship and there's paperwork to complete. So there's a whole process when it comes to getting that required internship, but you have lots of help doing that. And we also inform students of internships along the way. So if there's something that you find in freshman or sophomore year, even though it won't count as a required one, you can still do something else, like working with ECU or maybe working with a professional sports team or a sports arena or something like that. So long-winded answer, Casey, but I think I got there in the end.
I think that was beautiful. Casey, did that answer your question? Awesome. Thank you. Yeah.
Jennifer, we do have a presentation, and I'm gonna just put it in as a PDF in our chat. I think that'll come through.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. And Vanessa has linked in more information on that HHP admitted students Friday, and then Pirates Aboard, which is again that greater ECU admitted students day. We would love to see you there. And then the presentation, yes, on rcsc, and the programs are there as well, so you can open that up if you have questions. I think we've covered majority of the topics pretty well that are pertinent to what you're going through right now, but if you all have different questions about it or open the PDF and think, well, I wish I had asked that, definitely reach out to us. Did y'all have anything else to add?
I wanted to add something that what Jordan said, and I think this is for all three of the programs, that there's definitely the classes are, we have so many different types of classes, so you're going to get a variety of knowledge and skills from the classes, but we also have a lot to offer outside the classes, and that's through like the experiences that Joshua was talking about and Jordan. But also we have clubs, we have the Recreational Therapy Student Society. I know that other programs have clubs as well. And just to encourage you to get involved in those, because they're going out and being together as students, or different degree levels of students are together, so you can learn from each other. Somebody that's been through the program, like a semester or two ahead of you, you can learn what they're doing or what they have done. And I just think it's a really important way to get outside the classroom and still learn about your degree and your future profession, because they're also connecting with people, practitioners and professionals in the communities, and the alumni from our programs want to connect to the students. So it's kind of like a win-win-win. We have the students, the professionals, and the faculty. We're all working together. So you're in good hands as a student in this department and these programs.
I was going to say, we have a great extensive alumni network with RCSC. So if you wanted to intern somewhere, had a connection, bring it on, or if you don't know, we can connect you with an alumni in the field that you're interested in to talk to about what kind of path they took through undergrad, career options, different avenues, maybe, we didn't think of or they think of. So that's another great professional development opportunity that we like to offer students. And then there's also the Student Professional Development Fund that can help fund things like conference attendance, poster printing if you're printing a poster, help pay for certain exams. So try to take that burden off y'all. And then there's scholarships as well available specifically to RCSC students, HHP students, ECU and beyond. That falls under me as well. So we can definitely chat about finances. I'm not a financial aid expert, but if I don't know the answer, I will find you the person that will give you that answer. So yeah, so anything that you need support, we've got it. Any questions?
To add that our advisors are amazing. As a faculty member, we work with the students in the classroom, but the advisors are so important. And we work closely with them. They're aware of what you need in our programs. We work closely together. So that's a really important relationship, and I really appreciate that all the time. And because we are not faculty advisors, we do mentor. So you have your advisors in the college, and then you have in the different programs, you're going to have faculty mentors assigned to you as well. So we really have a lot of support. And yeah, I think that's important for you, for future students to know as well.
There's a question in the chat. What is the difference between this sports management versus sports management under kinesiology?
So back when we had sports studies, we had sports management on a master's level and sports studies on the undergrad level. During that period, they were both under the kinesiology department, but that has changed for this school year, and we have moved into the recreation, park, and sport management major on the undergrad level, and sports management on the master's level they have both moved to the recreation science department. So same field, pretty much very similar degree. It's just under a different department now, and there's some recreation sprinkled into the sport management, as opposed to it being kinesiology, if that makes sense, Brady.
I'm going to talk out loud about scholarships because I could probably write a novel on those. So what I do is I'm the liaison between the College of Health and Human Performance and our general office of scholarships at ECU, who's falls under their director, Summer Edwards. I'm sorry if you hear my 5-month-old screaming his head off in the background. He's losing his mind. He's fine. My husband's with him, but he's just ill. So we facilitate college level scholarships. So that is for any student in HHP. It would pull from your banner information. You would fall under healthy human performance. And then if you're declared major in one of the RCSC programs, it will attach to your profile as well. And you'll fall into that bucket. So you don't have to apply to multiple scholarships. There's a general scholarship application you fill out, and you will be sorted into the various, I call them buckets, whether it's big ECU scholarships, HHP general college scholarships, and then your specific department scholarships. So there's a ton of options. With HHP, there's not a whole lot, unfortunately, for incoming freshmen, but for us specifically, for ECU, there is, and I'm happy to chat with anybody interested in that. Kind of how the portal, it's closed right now, but it will open, and I will go into more detail about that. But once you declare your major, there is a ton of funding and assistance available for HHP and RCSC students. We are just getting ready to award scholarships actually coming up in the next couple weeks. So really excited for that. And then once students get their scholarships, you'll do a kind of professional development boot camp with me, where I will go over different, avenues after graduation, professional societies you can look into joining, things like that, how to write your thank you letter. And then there's a big scholarship social event in the fall where we invite donors who are super active. Our donors love to interact with y'all, with HHP students, and get involved in what you're doing. They're really interested in you and invested in you as a person, which I have not really seen in other departments that I've worked at. Like, that's very unique here. I think it's wonderful to hear just donors wanting to know what students are doing and how they can get more involved. So it's just a really great event. All of that to say, yes, scholarships fall under me, and I could talk about them forever because I love helping you find funding, whether it's internal or external, just to kind of alleviate that financial burden of going to school. So happy to talk about that more, but just let me know what questions you might have on scholarships. I'm going to give it a few seconds to see if anyone has any other questions. If not, everybody's information is mostly in the chat, or it'll be sent out to you after as well. Thank y'all for joining us tonight. I know it's a rainy, cold evening if you're in the Greenville area, but we appreciate y'all coming out. Again, any questions or anything you need from us, the email is the best way to reach me. I'm sure everybody else is probably email as well, but we look forward to hopefully seeing y'all next Friday and on March 29th for Pirates Aboard. Thank you.